The rain hammered Manhattan's sidewalks like 1,000 tiny accusations, turning Fifth Avenue into a river of regret. I slammed the cab door, my heart pounding harder than the thunder overhead, and bolted toward the glowing windows of the Empire Diner. Our spot, the one Marcus swore was sacred. But as I burst through the door, drenched and desperate, I saw him. Not alone at our booth, but locked in a heated whisper with a shadowy figure in a trench coat, their words slicing through the din like broken glass. "Billy?" Marcus choked out when he spotted me, his CO polish cracking like cheap veneer. "You weren't supposed to see this." That night in the diner, the world tilted on its axis. But let's rewind to how it all ignited 3 weeks earlier, under the relentless July sun baking Brooklyn's streets. I was Billy Harper, 26, a freelance graphic designer scraping by in a Bushwick walk-up that smelled like regret and ramen. My days blurred into nights hunched over my laptop, pitching logos to startups that ghosted me faster than a bad Tinder date. Pride Month had just wrapped, leaving rainbow flags limp in the humidity, and I was nursing a hangover from too many cheap beers at the parade. That's when I collided, literally, with Marcus Hale. It was at a pop-up art fair in Dumbo, the kind where trust fund kids sip rose and pretend to care about emerging voices. I was there to schmooze, my portfolio tucked under one arm like a shield, when I tripped over a rogue extension cord. My sketchbook flew, pages scattering like confetti from a failed dream. Cursing under my breath, I dropped to my knees, chasing doodles of impossible skylines across the cobblestones. "Here, I've got the one with the exploding heart." A deep voice, smooth as aged bourbon, cut through my panic. I looked up into eyes the color of storm clouds, framed by a jawline that could cut glass. He was tall, broad-shouldered in a tailored navy blazer that screamed old money, silver threading his dark hair at the temples. Marcus Hale, though I didn't know his name yet, knelt beside me, holding out my sketch like it was a relic. "Thanks, man. That's personal." I snatched it, cheeks burning. The exploding heart was a metaphor I'd never shared, a jagged valentine for the ex who'd left me gutted 2 years back, whispering, "It's not you. It's the labels," before vanishing into heteronormalcy. He smiled, not the pitying kind, but one that crinkled his eyes. "Art's always personal. I'm Marcus. And this," he tapped the page, "it's got fire. Reminds me of that Basquiat piece at the Whitney. Raw, unapologetic." We talked for hours, the fair fading around us. He wasn't just handsome. He was magnetic, quoting Ginsberg 1 minute, dissecting the gig economy's soul crush the next. Turns out, he ran HaleTech, a fintech startup revolutionizing microlending for underserved communities. Noble stuff that made my cynic's heart stutter. But there was a shadow in his laugh, a hesitation when pride came up, like he'd danced too close to the flames once and still bore the scars. By sunset, he'd bought my sketches, $500, cash, no haggling, and slipped me his card. "Call me. Brooklyn could use more explosions." I did, that same night, my voice shaky over cheap Merlot. Our first date was Coney Island, hot dogs and Ferris wheel confessions under the stars. He admitted he'd been out since college, but corporate boardrooms still felt like minefields. "They see the rainbow tie clip and wonder if I'm here to disrupt or decorate," he said, his hand brushing mine on the rail. I told him about my southern roots, Atlanta kid who fled Bible Belt whispers for NYC's chaos, and how every design I made was a middle finger to invisibility. We fell fast, reckless as a summer storm. Marcus swept me into his world. Rooftop cocktails overlooking the Hudson, where he'd trace my tattoos with his fingertips, murmuring, "You're the color I've been missing." Sex was electric. His body a map of hard-earned muscle and faint scars from a wild youth, as he called it. In his Tribeca penthouse, silk sheets tangled around us, he'd whisper promises against my skin. "This is real, Billy. No games." But cracks spiderwebbed early. He'd vanish midweek, phone on silent, emerging with excuses about board crises or investor dinners. I'd scroll his LinkedIn, HaleTech's golden boy, TED Talk darling, wondering why a man who kissed like salvation hid behind locked doors. Still, I ignored it, drunk on the romance. We hiked the Palisades, his laughter echoing off cliffs as we shared dreams. Me illustrating a graphic novel about queer outlaws. Him expanding Hailtech to global impact. One evening, after a gallery opening in Chelsea, where he bid thousands on my friend's piece just to see me beam, he pulled me into a shadowed corner. "Move in with me," he said, voice rough with vulnerability. Rain pattered the awning outside, mirroring the storm in my chest. "I know it's fast, but damn it, Billy, you're the plot twist I didn't see coming." I said yes, tears mixing with the drizzle, our kiss sealing it like a vow. Packing my Bushwick life into boxes felt like shedding skin. Good riddance to loneliness. Marcus's place was a minimalist dream. Floor-to-ceiling windows framing the city lights. A kitchen stocked with gadgets I pretended to understand. Our first night cohabiting, he cooked steak. Rare, like his openness. And we danced to Coltrane, bodies swaying slow. "You're changing me," he murmured into my hair. "Making me believe in second acts." I believed him. God, how I believed. But belief's a fragile thing, and mine shattered on a Tuesday in August, when I came home early from a client pitch. The penthouse was silent, save for the hum of his home office printer. Curiosity, or was it that nagging doubt, drew me to his desk. A folder lay open, edges crisp. Project Phoenix, confidential. I flipped it, heart thudding. Emails, schematics, a dossier thick as a novel. Hailtech wasn't just microlending. It was pioneering AI-driven predictive equity. Algorithms that assessed loan viability based on social media footprints, health data, even dating histories. Buried deeper, a subsection labeled Special Operations. My stomach nodded as I read. Marcus's special job wasn't boardrooms or TED stages. It was a ghost network, Hailtech's Black Ops arm, selling anonymized data to insurers, governments, anyone with deep pockets. Targeted ads? Child's play. This was profiling, flagging high-risk demographics, including queer youth for preemptive interventions. One memo chilled me. Leverage LGBTQ+ identifiers to mitigate fraud, e.g., correlate Grindr usage with financial instability. Betrayal hit like a freight train. This man, who'd held me through nightmares of rejection, was complicit in the very surveillance that choked us. I slammed the folder shut, bile rising, when his key turned in the lock. "Billy, you're home early." He froze in the doorway, suit rumpled from a day I now questioned. I held up the folder, voice a razor. "What the hell is this, Marcus? Your impact?" His face drained of color, the CEO mask slipping. "It's not what you think. Let me explain." But explanations curdled into arguments, his defenses crumbling under my fury. "It's business," he pleaded. "The good outweighs." "Good? You're selling our souls." I roared, storming out into the night, the city swallowing my sobs. That was the hook's end, the real unraveling. We patched it, or so I thought, with tear-soaked apologies and his vow to fix it. But trust, once cracked, leaks poison. Weeks blurred. Stolen moments of passion amid minefields of suspicion. I'd wake to him typing furiously at dawn, screens glowing with encrypted files. "Just tying up loose ends," he'd say, pulling me close. Then came the gala, Hailtech's annual fundraiser at the Met, black tie and champagne toasts masking the rot. I stood beside him in a rented tux, his hand possessive on my waist, whispering, "You look like Sin Harper." Flashbulbs popped, reporters cooed over the power couple, but my smile was glass. Across the room, a silver-haired exec, Victor Lang, board chair, eyed us like prey, his grip on Marcus's shoulder lingering too long. Later, in a gilded bathroom alcove, Marcus cornered me. "Victor's pushing for expansion. More special ops." "I can't." "Stop it," I hissed, pinning him against marble. "Or I walk for good." His kiss was desperate, teeth nipping my lip. "I choose you. Always." Lies taste sweet until they sour. By October, autumn leaves carpeting Central Park like fallen promises. The truth clawed free. I tailed him one night, Paranoia my new lover, to a nondescript warehouse in Red Hook. From the shadows, I watched him meet the trench-coated man. handoffs of drives, murmurs of containment protocols. My phone captured it all, blurry but damning. Confrontation brewed, a storm front rolling in. But love's a stubborn weed, rooting deep. That weekend, we escaped to his Hamptons cottage. Waves crashing like accusations, firelight flickering on our skin. "I love you," he said, tracing my collarbone. "More than the empire." I wanted to believe. In the quiet hours, he opened up. Orphaned young, clawing from foster care to Wharton, building Hailtech as armor against vulnerability. The special job started as protection, securing data from hackers. Morphed. Greed does that. We made love slow, reverent, bodies a bridge over chasms. Dawn brought resolve. He'd expose it, whistleblow from within. For us, he vowed. Hope flickered, fragile as a match. But shadows lengthened. Victor called meetings. Marcus returned hollow-eyed. I buried myself in designs, a queer futurism series, vibrant rebellions against the machine. Friends noticed my glow, then the strain. "He's worth it?" My bestie Lena probed over diner fries. "Every scar." I lied. November winds howled portents. The rain-soaked night at the Empire Diner? That was the apex, the hook's cruel punchline. I'd gone to surprise him, pie and forgiveness in hand. Instead, him and the trench coat, plotting final handover for Project Phoenix's crown jewel. An app that doxed activists, queers first on the list. "You weren't supposed to see," he repeated, as if repetition mended fractures. The shadowy figure bolted. I stood frozen, pie splattering at my feet. "Who are you?" I whispered, the question a dirge. Marcus reached, but I recoiled. "The man who loves you, and the fool who thought he could outrun his demons." We fled to the street, rain a biblical deluge. Arguments erupted. His pleas my rage, until sirens wailed distant, a harbinger. In that alley, under the truth or lies sign, I clutched his collar, our breaths mingling hot and broken. "Tell me it's over," I demanded, tears salting the storm. He cupped my face, thumb brushing my lip. "It's just beginning. Trust me one last time." Fool that I was, I nodded. But trust? It was ash. The weeks after the alley showdown were a tightrope walk over abyss. Each step a gamble on Marcus's redemption. He doubled down on the whistleblower pledge, holing up in his office with lawyers and encrypted laptops, emerging only to pull me into fierce, apologetic embraces. "This ends with me free," he'd murmur against my neck, his stubble rasping like sandpaper on raw nerves. I nodded, but sleep evaded me, haunted by visions of data streams devouring identities like Pac-Man ghosts. New York conspired in our fragile peace. Thanksgiving loomed, turkey ads mocking our dysfunction, but we hosted Lena and her girlfriend, Mia, in the penthouse, a forced Norman Rockwell with queer edges. Marcus grilled the bird on the terrace, wind whipping his hair, while I mashed potatoes, stealing glances at his profile. The man who'd once been my harbor, now a shipwreck I couldn't abandon. "To unexpected connections," he toasted, glass clinking mine, eyes locking with that storm cloud intensity. Lena raised a brow. She'd heard the diner tale, my slurred voicemails, but Mia's chatter about her drag show filled the silences. Laughter bubbled, tentative, and for a stolen hour, we were just us. Billy and Marcus, hands intertwined under the table, fingers tracing secret codes. Night fell soft, guests gone, dishes stacked like accusations. We collapsed on the couch, Coltrane crooning low, his head in my lap. "I leaked the first batch today," he confessed, voice muffled in my thigh. Anonymized to a journalist contact. Project Phoenix is hemorrhaging credibility as we speak. Relief flooded me, warm as whiskey. I threaded fingers through his hair, massaging temples etched with strain. "Proud of you." Our kiss started tender, lips brushing like autumn leaves, then ignited, clothes shedding in a trail to the bedroom. He worshipped me slow, mouth mapping collarbones, hands pinning wrists with gentle command. "You're my North Star," he gasped as I arched beneath him, our rhythms syncing like a heartbeat unearthed. After, tangled in sheets scented with sweat and cedar cologne. He traced my exploding heart tattoo. This, us. It's the only data that matters. Vulnerability cracked his voice. I held him tighter, ignoring the tremor in his frame. But dawn brought Victor's call, a venomous summons to the Hailtech Tower in Midtown. Marcus dressed like armor. Charcoal suit, power tie knotted with finality. It'll be ugly, he warned, kissing my forehead. But necessary. I spent the day sketching, fierce warriors toppling digital towers, rainbows piercing code. My phone buzzed midday, Lena forwarding a TechCrunch blurb. Hailtech stock dips on data leak rumors. Elation surged. This was it, the unraveling. He returned at dusk, face ashen, tie askew. Victor's circling, threats of lawsuits, severance that'd bankrupt me. He collapsed beside me, head on my shoulder. But I stood firm, told him I'm out, post-leak. We celebrated subdued. Thai takeout on the floor, toasting with Singa bottles. Laughter returned, laced with relief. What's next? I asked, chopsticks poised. His grin flashed, boyish. You, me, a cabin in the Adirondacks. No signals, just us. Dreams wove tight that night, but reality's thread snagged. December crept in, Christmas lights twinkling like false stars. The leaks escalated, CNN panels dissecting Hailtech's ethical quagmire. Activists chanting outside the tower. Marcus fielded calls from reporters, his voice steady on air. Innovation without integrity is just exploitation. Pride swelled in me. This was the man I'd fallen for, bold, unyielding. We volunteered at a queer youth center in Harlem, him reading stories to wide-eyed kids, me illustrating murals of defiant heroes. One boy, Jamal, shy with braces, tugged Marcus's sleeve. You look like a superhero, mister. Marcus knelt, eye level. Nah, kid. Heroes like you, brave enough to be seen. His glance my way held oceans. I blinked back sting, but shadows lengthened. Anonymous emails flooded his inbox. Threats scrawled in code. Phoenix rises from ashes. Watch your nest. Victor's doing, no doubt. Marcus shrugged them off, but I saw the locks on his phone multiply. The late nights poring over NDAs. New Year's Eve sealed our pact. Times Square's chaos below the penthouse. Confetti cannons booming like artillery. We made love on the balcony. City sprawl our witness. His body shielding mine from chill winds. Happy New Year, love, he whispered at midnight. Fireworks painting us gold. To truths, I replied, clinking flutes. January bit hard, polar vortex gripping the city, pipes groaning like ghosts. Hailtech teetered, stock plummeted, Victor ousted in a boardroom coup. Marcus emerged unscathed, hailed as the conscience of tech in Wired profiles. We dreamed big. His pivot to ethical AI consultancy, my graphic novel greenlit by a small press. But the special jobs ghost lingered. One blizzard night, snow muffling horns, I found him in the study, trench coat manila open on his desk. Contingency files, he explained, closing it quick. Just in case. Doubt flickered, but I smothered it with a kiss. We're past that. February's thaw mirrored ours. Valentine's. He blindfolded me, leading to a private MoMA after-hours tour. Picasso's and Pollock's our chaperones. In the Rothko room, reds bleeding like wounds, he dropped to one knee. Not a ring. A custom sketchpad. Bound in leather. First page, my exploding heart. Evolved. Two figures entwined. Unbreakable. Marry me, Billy. Not for show, for us. Tears blurred. I pulled him up. Yes, a thunderclap. We fucked against the wall. Art alarms beeping distant protest. His moans echoing my name like prayer. Spring bloomed treacherous. March brought the subpoena. DOJ probing Hailtech's data sales. Marcus named in depositions. Routine, he assured. But court dates loomed like guillotines. I attended the first, suit stiff on the gallery bench. His testimony a masterclass in deflection. Remorse laced with deflection, painting himself the reluctant cog. Jurors nodded. Victor's glares scorched. Outside, paparazzi swarmed. CEO comes out twice. As gay and guilty? Headline screamed. We barricaded, ordering in bodies our bunker. They'll never touch us, he vowed, fingers interlaced. April showers masked tears. Leaks turned title. Whistleblower docs exposed the full rot. Hailtech's algorithms weaponized against immigrants. Trans folks flagged for volatility. Protests swelled. Marcus spoke at rallies, voice cracking over a megaphone in Union Square. I built this monster. Now I burn it down. For every life it scarred. I stood beside him, hand in his. The crowds roar our anthem. Love felt invincible, a fortress. But fortresses fall. May's heat wave stifled breath. I was at a client meet in Soho when my phone erupted. Lena's text, WTF? Check NYT. The article gutted me. Hailtech CEO's secret side hustle. Black market data broker to far-right groups. Photos. Marcus shaking hands with a known anti-LGBTQ lobbyist. Timestamps post our diner fight. The special job wasn't passed. It was parallel. A slush fund he'd funneled to silence critics, including queer orgs threatening exposure. Betrayal wasn't a wave. It was an ocean, drowning. I raced home, the article printing in furious reams. He arrived late, reeking of scotch and lies. Billy, save it. I hurled the pages. You played me. Us. His collapse was total, knees buckling, face crumpling. It was containment. Victor's orders. I was buying time to. Time to what? Sell more souls. Rage propelled me forward, fists pounding his chest. He took it, arms wrapping loose, sobs racking us both. I love you, he choked. That's the only truth. But love, twisted, poisons. I fled to Lena's couch, city lights mocking through blinds. Days blurred. Ignored calls, deleted voicemails of pleas. The novel stalled. Designs turned dark, thorns overtaking hearts. June Pride approached, ironic parade of colors. Marcus testified final, immunity for full confession. Hailtech dissolved in fines and shame. Headlines crowned him villain redeemer, but I saw only the man who'd carved my trust to ribbons. Reconciliation's whisper came via Jamal, the kid from Harlem, now a messenger. A sketchpad arrived, my Valentine's gift, filled with his scrawls. Our story, stick figure epic of heroes and heartbreak. Tucked inside, Marcus's note. I burned it all. For you. If there's an us left, meet me at Coney, the wheel, dusk. Heart a war zone I went. The Ferris wheel creak descent, Brooklyn sprawl below like a forgiven map. He waited in our car, eyes hollowed by loss. I'm sorry, he started, voice raw. The special job was fear mine, not yours. I thought control bought safety. It bought chains. Words tumbled. His foster scars, the lobbyist payoff as desperate gambit to shield our engagement from smears. I chose wrong, chose them over us. Pain etched deep, but so did memory. His laughter in waves, hands in mine at rallies. Can we rebuild? I whispered, gondola swaying. He nodded, tentative. Brick by aching brick. Our kiss was salt and renewal, tentative as spring. Not fixed scars map the healed but possible. America, with its vast contradictions, taught me that love's not flawless. It's the fight to humanize the flaws. Summer's swelter returned, but our reconciliation simmered low, a stew of caution and craving. Coney's promise lingered like beach sand in shoes. Gritty reminder that forgiveness isn't erasure, but excavation. Marcus moved out temporarily, to a spare condo in Phi D, giving space for breaths untainted by betrayal's aftertaste. No pressure, he'd text. Memes of awkward sloths punctuating the void. I missed him visceral, the weight of his arm across my waist, coffee brewed black as his humor. July 4th crackled with irony. Fireworks over the East River painted the penthouse in explosive hues, but I watched alone, sketching detonations that echoed inner turmoil. Lena dragged me to a rooftop barbecue in Williamsburg, queer collective, grills smoking weed and ribs. You're glowing dimmer, she prodded, passing a joint. He worth the dim? Dim's where the stars show, I quipped, but truth gnawed. Hailtech's fallout rippled. My designs flooded with commissions, activist posters, queer lit covers, ironic fruit from his infamy. Marcus, he consulted freelance, ethical audits for startups, his TED sequel a mea culpa. From predator to protector. We met neutral. Coffee shops, parks, testing waters. Conversations skirted minds. His special job, reduced to euphemism. The mess. Instead, we mind joys. Jamal's art class, where Marcus mentored, tiny hands smudging charcoal on his cuffs. Kids don't judge firewalls, he'd say, sending photos that tugged my resolve. August heat peaked. So did temptation. A client, lithe photographer named Theo, flirted overt, invites to gallery crawls laced with intent. You deserve uncomplicated, he purred over gallery wine. I ghosted, loyalty a stubborn anchor, but doubt whispered. Was Marcus's remorse genuine or polished PR? The call came mid-heat wave. Victor Lang, from a burner, voice oily as sludge. Tell your boyfriend the DOJ's got tapes. His containment. It implicates your pretty little life. Click. Panic surged. I dialed Marcus, voicemail swallowing my frenzy. He appeared at dusk, sweat sheened, eyes wild. Lang's bluffing. Traced the number to a ghost account. But fear clung, adhesive. We ended up at his condo, AC humming defeat, bodies colliding in urgent need. I can't lose you again, he growled, pinning me to silk, thrusts a reclamation. After spent and sticky, he confessed fragments. The tapes were real, grainy audio of payoffs, his voice damning. We fight it, I said, tracing his scars. Together. Legal trenches deepened. Lawyers circled, ours sharp as scalpels, Victor's a hydra. Depositions dragged. Fluorescent hells where Marcus relived the special jobs genesis. A startup pivot post, 2008 crash. Data as the new oil. It started pure, he testified, gaze flicking to me in the gallery. Predictive lending for the forgotten. Then, compromise crept. Victor's cross burned. Compromise or corruption? Mr. Hale? And how does your personal life factor? Smirk implied filth. Marcus's jaw clenched granite. My life factors as humanity, yours lacks it. Courtroom electric. Allies in the queer press live tweeting solidarity. I sketched the scene later. Marcus as gladiator, Victor the minotaur, me the thread in labyrinth. September's equinox balanced scales or tipped them. DOJ dropped charges on technicality. Statute lapsed on early deals. But civil suits loomed from affected lives. A trans woman denied loans via flagged lifestyle. A Latino family doxed in error. Marcus settled quietly. Funds rerouted to reparations trusts. Blood money redeemed. He called it voice hollow over takeout pad thai. We reclaimed the penthouse piecemeal. His suits migrating back, my sketches colonizing walls. Nights rebuilt intimacy. Slow dances in kitchens, him humming Sinatra off-key. Sex evolved, less frenzy, more map-making, exploring forgiveness's contours. Here, he'd murmur, lips on hip bone, is where I falter. Hold me accountable. October's chill nipped heels. Halloween bash at the youth center. Marcus as a pixelated ghost. Nod to data haunts. Me Robin Hood in tights, stealing glances. Jamal pirate-capped. Beamed. You too fixed. Kids see clearer, Marcus replied, ruffling his hair. My heart clenched. This humanistic core, mentoring the marginalized, was the man I'd glimpsed first. But Lang's shadow stalked. Package arrived, USB drive, anonymous. Files within, not tapes but photos, us intimate time-stamped pre-scandal. Blackmail's crude art. Marcus paled. He's unraveling. Payback. Rage unified us. We went public. Press conference in a sunlit loft, hands clasped. We've endured threats, Marcus stated, my nod beside him. But love and justice prevail. Media frenzy. Queer power couple defies tech tyrant. Victor's empire crumbled next. SEC probes, arrests for fraud. In the fallout, Marcus testified against him, voice steady. He weaponized trust. I won't let him define mine. November's barren trees mirrored stripped illusions. Thanksgiving redux. Just us. Turkey charred but edible toasts to survival. To the mess that made us, he said, fork spearing cranberry. To human, I echoed. Winter solstice brought pivot. Marcus launched Ethos AI, a non-profit open-source tools for privacy warriors. I illustrated its logo, Phoenix from Circuits, rainbow-veined. Launch party in a Soho warehouse. Queer icons mingling, toasts flowing. Theo cornered me, gracious defeat. He's lucky. I am, I replied, spotting Marcus across the room, our eyes locking like magnets. But solstice nights lengthened doubts. December's hush amplified echoes. A late-night call Marcus took in the hall, voice low. It's handled. Morning denial. Old contact. Cleanup. Trust scar itched. New Year's loomed again. But this time, resolve hardened. Full transparency, I demanded over eggnog. Or we're done. He nodded, solemn. Logs, passwords, all yours. We synced devices, a digital vow. But the gesture felt clinical, love's wildness tamed. January thawed secrets. Auditing his emails, I unearthed not fresh betrayal, but old wounds. Therapy transcripts from his foster days. Notes on compartmentalizing queerness for survival. A letter to his younger self. You're enough. Stop building walls. Tears blurred screen. I confronted gently, over dawn coffee. This, the special job. It was armor, not malice. He broke then, sobs wrenching. I armored against loss. Lost you anyway. Healing's alchemy. We therapy tandemed. A queer duo unpacking crates of conditional love. Sessions in a village brownstone, couch sagging under truths. Betrayal's echo of abandonment, the counselor noted. Marcus squeezed my hand. I'm here to rewrite the score. February's frost bit less. Valentine's redux. No grandeur, just Central Park skate. Him wobbling novice, me steadying, laughter freezing on lashes. Marry me still? He asked. Rink's edge, breath clouds mingling. Still? I affirmed, pulling him into woolen warmth. Spring's promise budded. March court closure. Victor imprisoned. Helteka's husk auctioned for good. Marcus's ethos thrived. Grants pouring for digital rights. My novel hit shelves. Exploding Hearts, semi-auto, our story veiled in fiction. Launch reading, him in front row, eyes proud. But April showers unearthed final rot. A whistleblower from Ethos, ironic, tipped. Marcus's cleanup calls? Lingering ties to a Phoenix remnant, a shell company siphoning funds. Confrontation redux. Rain-lashed alley, but this time, my building's rear, neon open, flickering mockery. One last lie. I accused, collar-fisted. He didn't deny. A trap for Lang's allies. Bait. I ended it tonight. Feds swarmed. Proof followed, arrest alerts pinging. Exhaustion claimed us. We slid down brick, rain our shroud, heads on knees. You fought, I whispered. For real. So did you, believing. Summer cycled anew. Pride 2026. We marched, hands linked, Jamal on shoulders. The special job scarred but schooled. Humanity's in the mending, not perfection. Yet, in quiet moments, I wonder, is love's shock ever fully absorbed? Or does it pulse eternal, a heart forever exploding? The cycle of seasons became our liturgy, each turn a testament to tenacity, but summer's blaze always tested the solder of our seams. Pride's afterglow faded into July's haze, and with it, the novelty of our comeback narrative. Tabloids tired of the tech Romeo and his artist Juliet, shifting to fresher scandals, leaving us to the mundane miracles. Grocery runs in Union Market, where Marcus debated kale merits with earnest fervor, or lazy Sundays in bed, my head on his chest, listening to the steady thrum that had nearly stilled. Ethos AI burgeoned, a phoenix indeed, workshops in community centers, teaching marginalized coders to build shields, not swords. Marcus thrived in the trenches, sleeves rolled, whiteboard marker capping his teeth. This is the job, he'd say, erasing Project Phoenix ghosts with each equation. I freelanced full throttle, my novels buzz spawning sequels, hearts reassembled, delving betrayal's aftermath through fractured panels. But normalcy's veneer cracked under weight. Jamal's orbit tightened. His single mom, overburdened nurse, leaned on us for after-school anchors. Uncle Billy, draw me a dragon? He'd beg, crayons scattering. Marcus built forts from couch cushions, tales of queer knights slaying data dragons. Watching them, my cynicism thawed. This was humanism incarnate. Love's quiet labor, stitching society's frayed edges. August vacuumed breath. A ethos grant pitch in Silicon Valley pulled Marcus west. 3 days of venture vultures in khakis, pitching ethics to profit hounds. I'll call, he promised at JFK. Kiss lingering like apology. Loneliness echoed hollow. Theo resurfaced. Innocent coffee, networking. But his eyes traced my ringless finger. Still chained. Flirtation's hook snagged. I bolted, guilt my chaperone home. Marcus returned changed, sun-kissed, but shadowed. They offered millions to corrupt it. Over airport sushi, he unpacked. Temptations to scale ethos commercially, strings attached. I walked, but damn Billy the pull. We argued rare, him pacing, me sketching fury. You're more than redemption's poster boy, I snapped. Fight for soul, not spotlight. He deflated, pulling me close. You're my soul check. Bed that night was battlefield to bomb. His submission fervent, my dominance a reclaiming, bodies forging peace in sweat-slicked truce. September's back-to-school rhythm synced us. Jamal enrolled in Art Magnet, crediting my murals. We parented proxy. Parent-teacher nights, bake sale disasters. Marcus's cookies, leaden as regrets. Families chosen. He mused one evening, leaf peeping in Prospect Park, Jamal scampering ahead. Heart swelled. But family evokes ghosts. My Atlanta call, mom's voice, tentative post coming out thaw. Heard about your fellow. Papers say he's troubled. Southern sugar-coated thorns. He's human, ma. Like us. Hang up stung. Marcus held space, no fixes, just presence. October's harvest moon fattened doubts. Ethos hit snag. Internal audit unearthed, legacy code. Phoenix remnants in open-source repos, dormant viruses. Hackers stirred, doxing staff. Marcus insulated me. Stay dark. But fear fermented. Halloween redux. Center party, costumes evolved. Us as Tweedledee and Tweedledum, twins in folly. Laughter masked tremor. Midnight, a masked figure slipped Marcus a note. He paled, crumpling it. Old ghost. Nothing. Transparency. I echoed our pact. Candy corn souring tongue. Nuisance bitter on Hailtech assets. Harmless. November's gray draped heavy. DOJ echoes resurged. Class action from data victims. Marcus deposed anew. Gallery bench again, his voice wearier. Regrets my restitution. Plaintiff's eyes, hurt etched, mirrored mine once. Post-hearing, rain-slick streets. We sought solace in the Empire Diner. Full circle irony. Booth our confessional. Pie shared like communion. I see their pain in you, he said, fork pausing. Vowed never to echo it. You don't? I lied soft. But echoes linger. Thanksgiving anchored, expanded table, Lena, Mia, Jamal's mom, even my sister video from Atlanta. Turkey golden, toasts teary. To messes mended. Marcus raised glass, eyes on me. December's Noel frenzy commercialized hope. Ethos holiday drive. Toys for foster kids. Marcus's past a bridge. Wrapping paper avalanche. His laughter genuine as we assembled bikes. It's the special job now. New Year's dawned deliberate. No Times Square crush. Instead, penthouse countdown, just us. Champagne bubbling like resolve. Resolutions? He asked, fingers laced. Yours first. Daily. Choose you over shadows. Mine. Trust the light. Kiss sealed. Fireworks our private burst. January's frost preserved fragility. A ethos breakthrough, privacy protocol patented. Hailed in MIT review. Marcus keynote CES in Vegas. Neon excess clashing his quiet fire. I joined midway, slot machines dinging distractions. Backstage. Pre-talk jitters. What if they see the fraud? They see the fighter. My kiss talisman. He slayed. Crowd roaring for tech with heart. February's Cupid arrows pierce tender. Anniversary diner. 1 year since alley absolution. Still shocked? He teased, menu hiding blush. Delightfully. Gifts exchanged. Him. Custom watch engraved. Times hours. Me. Tattoo voucher. Matching exploding hearts on his rib. Ink session intimate. Needles buzz, his hand in mine. Artist quipping on queer icons. You too, living art. March's eyes warned. Victor's appeal denied. But from cell, he lashed. Smuggled letter to Marcus. Your boy's next. Leaks on his family. Bluff, but Atlanta ties severed anew. Mom's silence a wound. Rage vented in gym spars. Marcus spotting my lifts, sweat our solvent. He can't touch us, he grunted, barbell clanging. April's renewal rained truth. Jamal's school play. Him as Dragon Slayer. Us front row, proud tears. Post curtain. Mom's gratitude. You gave him heroes. May's bloom burst. Ethos Global Berlin Hackathon. Us jetting coach. Hands held over Atlantic. Workshop chaos. Coders queer and straight. Forging code against creeps. Nightcap in beer garden. Beers frothy. This world's ours to hack. June pride crescendoed. March redux but evolved us on float ethos banner aloft. Jamal waved tiny flag. Lena catcalled. Marcus's speech. Megaphone hoarse. From closets to code, we claim space. But pride precedes. Post-parade. Alley shortcut neon truth flickering. A figure emerged. Trench coat ghost, finally unmasked. Not foe but ally exhale tech coder whistleblower kin. Loose end tied, he said, handing flash. Final Phoenix kill switch. Marcus exhaled decades wait. It's done. July's heat wave melted remnants. We honeymooned proxy. Adirondack cabin as promised. Lake mirrors, loons calling. Canoe drifts, confessions afloat. His foster letters burned in bonfire, ashes to water. You're free, I said, paddle dipping. With you. August dog days drowsed content. Novel tour. Readings in indie shops. Marcus tag teaming Q&A. Fans queried the CEO. He demurred gracious. Muse and mirror. September's equinox equilibrated. Jamal's birthday bash. Piñata bursting candy confetti. Us daddies by proxy. Cake smeared on cheeks. October's veil thinned. Ethos Award MacArthur Genius nod for Marcus. Gala tuxes. My design on him. Subtle rainbow weave. Podium. He credited. Billy Harper my genius. November's gratitude grounded. Family fused. Atlanta visit. Mom's hug tentative thaw. He seems solid. Solid as us. December's lights kindled. Holiday cards. Our photo hands linked Jamal photobombed grin. But cycles spin. Shocks subside to scars. New Year's whispered. Another lap? Together, he vowed. In America's vast tapestry. Flawed, fierce. Our thread wove humanistic. Love not shock's victim, but its alchemist, turning leaden lies to golden truths. The wheel turned inexorable, seasons blurring into a rhythm we'd choreographed from chaos. Love's waltz, 2/4 time over minefields. Winter's grip loosened into 2027's tentative spring, and with it, the profound hush of normalcy we'd chased like mirages. Ethos AI stabilized, a beacon in tech's turbulent seas, its open-source ethos spawning global chapters. Sao Paulo coders shielding favela voices. Nairobi hackers anonymizing activist feeds. Marcus, once CEO Colossus, now Sage Shepherd, jetted for keynotes, returning with tales of kindred spirits, his suitcase always bearing trinkets. A Berlin pin for my lapel, Kenyan coffee for dawn brews. I flourished parallel. Graphic novels serialized. Exploding Hearts trilogy capping with Hearts Eternal. Epilogue Our Veiled Vow. Tours crisscrossed coasts. SF signings where fans dissected Billy Marcus parallels. Me winking, fiction's truest lie. Homecomings were rituals. His airport pickup, my sign shocked still? Scrawled Goofy, dissolving into backseat makeouts that fogged windows. Jamal anchored deeper, 13 now, gangly limbs and budding sass. Our chosen son in all but ink. Middle school maelstrom. Bullies sniffing gay uncles. His retorts fierce. Better than boring. We tag-teamed. Marcus's logic puzzles on resilience. My comics arming him against shadows. Sleepovers in the penthouse. Fort-building marathons. His snores sinking our size. Yet, prosperity's shadow is scrutiny. April's taxman unearthed Hailtech holdovers. Dormant LLC's Marcus thought dissolved. Now IRS hounds bang audits. Sloppy closeout. He grumbled over spreadsheets. Glasses perched, hair tousled silver. Sleepless nights ensued. His frame thinning. My worry a constant hum. Delegate, I urged, massaging knots from shoulders. You're not solo anymore. Hire came. Sharp queer accountant. Lena's wreck boundaries, boss. She decreed, firewalls rising. Relief settled, but vulnerability lingered. Marcus's confession over midnight scotch. Controls my curse. The special job was symptom, not source. Therapy tandem persisted. Village couch our confessional. Progress? Counselor probed. Scars fade, Marcus said, my nod affirming. But maps remain. May's derby hats hid tensions. Mom's visit, first post-thaw, awkward charm. Atlanta Grace's clash Tribeca sleek. Her pecan pie versus our quinoa bowls. He's good for you, she conceded, eyeing Marcus's grillmaster turn. Steady. Steady as storms. I joked, but her hug lingered, maternal Morse. Approval coded. June pride peaked triumphant. Float evolved, ethos float. Drone spelling code love. Jamal DJing beats. Marcus's arm around me. Sweat slick, voice hoarse enchant. No more closets. Post-march, alley tradition. But joy this time. Trench ghost toasting with us. Beers clinking closure. July's inferno tested. Wildfire smoke choked skies, mirroring inner smokescreens. Ethos rival, Neff ascendant tech. Poached talent, whispers of sabotage. Marcus parried public. Op-ed in NYT. Ethics isn't buzz. It's bedrock. Backlash brewed. Trolls doxing. Hate mail laced homophobic venom. I shielded. Anonymous counters. Comics lampooning foes. Nights we'd bunker board games with Jamal, laughter a levy. Uncle M, your strategy sucks. Kid crowed over Monopoly, Marcus feigning outrage. August's eclipse dimmed lights literal. Cabin retreat redux, Adirondacks, but family edition, Jamal's first. Lake swims, ghost stories round fire. Marcus's foster yarns, sanitized for innocence. I was the runaway prince. He spun, embers glowing. Jamal's awe. You found your kingdom? With Billy's map. September's scholastic surge. Jamal's honors, our cheers loudest. But undercurrent. Mom's health dip, routine check flagged spots. Atlanta dash, Marcus driving rental, hand mine on gear shift. Hospital waits. Her frail in gown, our vigil solid. Brought the cavalry, she quipped, eyes wet. Biopsy benign, relief's exhale collective. Return flight, Marcus's vow. Family's web, stronger woven. October's foliage fired glory. Ethos summit. Queer tech conclave in Boston. Us panelists. Q&A electric. How'd betrayal forge better? A trans dev asked. Marcus paused, my cue. Shock strip illusions. What's left? Authenticity. November's thanks deepened. Table full. Lena's clan. Jamal's mom promoted to auntie. Even Victor's fall a footnote toast. To villains vanquished. December's hush holy. Holidays hybrid. Penthouse tree trimmed rainbow. Atlanta flight for mom's feast. Gifts heartfelt. Jamal's drone from us. Marcus's locket. Photo trio inside. Our constellation. Engraved. New Year's aurora northern. Cabin escape. Northern lights our countdown. Resolutions refined, he murmured, aurora draping us ethereal. Endure, I echoed. Evolve. 2028 dawned decisive. January's frost-framed focus. Ethos merger talks. Ethical giant, preserving soul. Marcus negotiated fierce, concessions carved. No phoenix echoes, claws ironclad. February's frostbite nipped. Proposal formal. Gramercy Park, snow-dusted gazebo, rings simple platinum. Etched circuits entwining hearts. Marry me, Billy Harper. Shocks and all. Knees snow-soaked, yes a blizzard. City calligraphed invites. Intimate village chapel, June vows. March's thaw trickled tears. Jamal's coming out whisper, crush on classmate, boy. Normal? He fretted, braces glinting nerves. Beautiful, Marcus affirmed, hug enveloping. My sketch. Two boys hand in hand, dragons slain. Your story starts. April's showers showered blessings. Wedding prep. Tux fittings, cake tastings, red velvet, layered like us. Lena maid of honor. Toast scripted snark. From CEO shock to heart lock. Nailed it. May's maypole dance delight. Bachelor Eve. Boys night. Jamal included arcade rampage. Marcus's Pac-Man defeat epic. Aged out. He groaned, quarter spent. June's solstice crowned. Chapel bloomed peonies, rainbow aisle runner. Vows raw mine. You shocked my world. Now steady it. His. From unexpected to eternal, my compass. Rings exchanged. Kiss ceiling, cheers erupting. Honeymoon Iceland. Geysers geysering joy. Hot springs steaming secrets shared. Special job. I teased. Bubbles tickling. You, he replied. Eyes aurora lit. July's return routinized. Married life mundane magic. Joint taxes. Shared closets. Morning coffees synced. Ethos post-merger hummed harmony. August dog days dozed. Jamal's summer camp counselor gig. Paying forward. September syllabus. School year. Our annex parents. October's harvest. Novel 4. Hearts harvested. Legacy arcs. November's nook. Thanks eternal. December's dream. Family photo, professional. Us 3, Jamal-centered. Mom beaming peripheral. But life's script twists. 2029 January. Ethos breach, minor, contained, but Marcus's overdrive echoed old compulsions. I'll fix, he insisted, nights blurring. I corrected, coffee his wake-up. Resolution. Sabbatical shared, cross-country drive. Route 66 reversed, diners and dawns. America's veins, he marveled, Grand Canyon gaping awe. February's pulse, therapy check-in. Integrated. Whole, we chorused. Spring spiral, Jamal's prom, suit sharp, date beaming. Our porch send-off, photos flashing. Summer's symphony. Pride patriarchs, float legacy. Autumn's archive. Mom's visit, stories swapped. Winter's warmth. Holidays hearthbound. Years layered. 30s for me, 50s for him, Silver Fox, my eternal artist. Jamal college-bound, queer studies major. Your influences, he credits. Ethos empire ethical. Novels national. Shocks? Faded to lore. Diner tales for grandkids hypothetical. In America's grand, gritty narrative, betrayals to bonds. We etched humanistic him. Love's not shock-proof, but shock-surviving. Unexpected connections. They shock eternal, hearts exploding into infinities. And in that alley's echo, under flickering truth, we'd choose again. Rain or radiance.